Said you are muted.
Good evening to all of you.
Good evening, sir.
Let's take you through this session where we are going to be helping you prepare effectively for the NPCIL interview process. Now it's unmuted. Good evening to all of you. Good evening, sir. Let's take you through this session where we are going to be right. I hope audio and video is clear enough for you. You are able to see the slide which is displayed in front of you, right? And welcome to the students who have joined us from the YouTube also. The way we are going to proceed is that I'll try spending more time on NPCIL specific modalities. There will be a number of areas which have been effectively covered in another session which I had conducted for ONGC and for HPCL. I have shared the links in the invitation that you people have received. We'll post it in the YouTube message chat also. And in case you're not submitted your call information, you can do that by filling in the information in the Google Forms, right? PCL has been issuing a very large number of calls, and you must have seen that they are calling 12 times the number of vacancies. That is what is the usual thing which they do. Every year, that's the norm which they are following. And obviously, the selection process is rigorous enough so that they try picking up the best. They try picking up the best. That's objective with which they are conducting this process. We'll go through the various aspects one by one. Let me take you through the vacancies, cutoffs, calls one by one. Starting with the number of vacancies. Let me go on a full screen mode so that you are able to see clearly. I think this would be more appropriate. So this is a summary of the vacancies which NPCIL has been advertising during the last 5 years. This year there has been a fall. Last year and in 2024 the number of vacancies was 400, but this year it is down by 70. It's 330. Right? There is every possibility that next year, once again, it might go back to the 400 mark. But then that's something which is a decision to be taken by NPCI. Right? The breakup category wise obviously is placed, and you are well aware that the shortlist is based on the gate score of 24, 25, 26. In other words, the best score of these 3 years is what you would have and should have applied with, and you are able to get the shortlist call based on that, right? Look at the number of vacancies. If you are looking at the breakup, this is for mechanical, 125 vacancies for mechanical engineering. Last year it was 150. In fact, last 2 years it was consistent at 150. This year it is 125 with 48 vacancies for the unreserved categories, 37 for OBC NCL, 12 for EWS, 20 for SC, and 8 for ST. The number of candidates who appeared for mechanical engineering stream has reduced by about 2,500 in comparison with previous year. It stands at 59,612 candidates. When we look at the next branch, this is for electrical engineering. The number of vacancies is reduced to 50, and no, it's not 50, but it's 60. I'm sorry, I may need to make that correction. And the number of candidates in electrical again is reduced by about 2,000. Okay. Just a moment. I think there is some mix-up. Anyway, let me skip it. Let's come straight to the cutoffs. On this sheet, I have given a comparative of the cutoffs for the previous year, which is in black, and the current year, which is in red. Uh, Electronics has seen a jump from 651 last year to 698 this year. Electrical has seen a nominal jump from 614 to 630. Instrumentation has seen a big jump from 378 to 440, but then it has drastically fallen down for the ST category from 248 to 170, right? You will notice that by and large, there is a marginal increase in every category and branch, except that in mechanical, there is a reduction from 660 to 618. EWS has seen an increase. OBC again has seen a fall. SC and ST almost similar. SC is almost similar, but ST has gone up from 352 to 378. Instrumentation, I have already said that for ST category, it has dropped significantly. For the other categories, for the other branches, there is more or less in the similar range, right? In terms of the number of vacancies that we already seen electronics has 50, electrical has 65, instrumentation at 15, 125 for mechanical, 35 for civil, 40 for chemical, with a total of 330 vacancies. This also includes the seats which are reserved for the persons with the benchmark disabilities. And the number of calls is written against each of them. It's approximately 12 times. There is a variation, there is a aberration that you're observing, which is in case of instrumentation, which is slightly less than 12 times. Mechanical is 12 times, a little more than 12 times. Civil again is a little more than 12 times. Chemical, just one more than the 480 mark. Electronics, again, 16 more than the 600 mark. But that is only to make sure that the persons with same gate score gets shortlisted based on the criteria that they have published. When we are wanting to prepare for NPCIL, we have to focus on a few areas and a few precautions. The most important precaution is do not boast about your knowledge. I have written here, be prepared to go for important derivations. But in case of NPCIL, the derivations part will be changed over to be prepared to have a discussion related to important formulas. They may not ask you to go for derivations, but they may ask you to have an in-depth discussion about any formulas that you may discuss during the course of the interview. The typical duration of the interview for NPCIL can be 45 to 60 minutes. I have written PARC is 45 to 100 minutes, but there have been exceptions where a student who is not prepared, generally the interview gets over in about half an hour also. So these numbers, these durations are an approximate duration and they cover a spectrum. So in case your BARC interview was longer or shorter, please, it's purely dependent on the way your interview proceeded, right? I was mentioning about the two videos that you must watch. One is the ONGC video for which the link is given. If you want, you can take a screenshot, but those of you who are connected on Zoom, they would have received these links in the invitation mail. So I'm sure you can go through them. I suggest that devote this time in going through these two videos. They will provide answers to a lot of questions. Today, I will not rather spend time on those answering those questions, but I'll try to address areas which are more specific to NPCI. In the list of questions which I'm going to be just flashing onto the screen, wherever it is NPCIL specific aspects, definitely I'll devote the required amount of time. I have given the second link, which is approximately 22 minutes on 21 minutes of the discussion on hobbies in the HPCL interview guidance session, available on the Made Easy YouTube channel. The chances of NPCIL interview going in the direction of discussion on your hobbies is rather less. But then we don't want to leave anything to chance. And that's the reason why I would suggest that do spend these 21 minutes and go through this video so that you are able to get a feel of the kind of questions which could be there related to the variety of hobbies that has been discussed in this duration, right? When we are wanting to prepare for the interview for NPCIL, the aspects that are needed to be covered would include knowledge about NPCIL in brief knowledge. They will not ask you to go into the history and geography of it, but then macro knowledge is definitely required to be known in terms of where are the major nuclear power plants located, which are the projects which are currently under execution, what is the expansion plan, what is the total current installed capacity from of nuclear energy in India, what is the expected addition that could be taking place in the next 2 3 years, are there any joint ventures? Are there any collaborative uh, locations which are coming up? Those are the aspects which you are required to be preparing for, right? Lalit Singh, you'll have to hold, you'll have to wait and have patience, right? I have written subject knowledge is obviously very important. And just like in case of BARC, where they ask you to write down the list of 4 subjects that you have prepared for this interview, in case of NPCL, they may ask you what are your favorite subjects, or rather than ask you what are your favorite subjects, they may ask you what are the subjects that you have prepared for this interview, right? If they ask you what are the subjects that you have prepared for this interview, I have observed in a very large number of students that their stock reply is, Sir, my favorite subjects are this, 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 this. They're not bothered about your favorite subject. They say, oh, so they are your favorite subject. So let us not ask you from your favorite subjects. Let's go to something different. Again, that's a trap that you are laying for you if you say that these are my favorite subjects. Reply if they specifically ask you what are your favorite subjects. That's it. But never ever make the blunder of saying, sir, I have prepared all subjects. अगर आपने ये बोल दिया कि मैंने सारे सब्जेक्ट्स प्रिपेयर करे हैं, कोई भी सवाल पूछ लो, तो देन यू आर इन फॉर अ बिग टाइम ग्रिलिंग, and the difficulty level of the questions will not start from basics, but they will straight away go to at least 50 to 60% data. So don't make this mistake. It can be going adversely for you. In the introduction about yourself, I'm suggesting to talk about your project and internship. But in NPCIL interview, just like in case of BARC interview, they may not go deep into project and internship. I have already written, they may not go deep. Achievements can be highlighted, but achievements try to focus more in terms of achievements related to academics. You can talk about any other extracurricular activities, but prefer not to be overstating things. The key to a good interview is understate but overperform rather than overstate and underperform. That is a very common mistake that is made by students who come with a lot of confidence, but then when the questioning starts, when the interaction starts, slowly they start fizzing out. Don't let it happen. Stay on ground. Don't overstate your achievements. Be matter of fact. और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात है, किसी को कॉपी करने की कोशिश मत करना. नेवर एवर डू दैट. नेवर एवर डू दैट. Your strengths and weaknesses, you should know about it. I can't tell you what are your strengths. You have to identify yourself what are your strengths. And what are your strengths which helped you gain an upper edge in comparison with your other competitors in terms of academics, in terms of professional life, in terms of any other sphere. But this is something which has to be done by you yourself. Weaknesses, again, are something which came in the way of you not making it to a final list. It could be because of lack of knowledge. It could be because of lack of ability to express yourself clearly. It could be because you are spending too much time in thinking about the problem and the time gets lost and you are not able to proceed with the result and so on. Family, be very brief about it. Don't try to gain sympathy by saying that, sir, I am from rural background. They don't care. Neither they care nor they bother. So don't try to highlight the rural background part of it, right? It will not really help you at all. Hobbies and extracurricular activities are very less likely to be asked. I have stated it earlier also. Let's move on. The areas that you have to prepare, obviously, as I said, subject knowledge is supreme, and start with the basics, basic definitions. Example, if you say basic thermodynamics is the area, is the subject that you have prepared, they may start off by asking you, name the various laws of thermodynamics. It could be as simple a question as that. But don't try to express the laws of thermodynamics distorted. If possible, try to reproduce the textbook definition of the laws. And then also be aware of what is the application of each of those laws. Now, when we say laws of thermodynamics, there is a zeroth law of thermodynamics. Now, zeroth law probably is applicable only to thermodynamics and to no other subject. Actually, the laws of thermodynamics started with first law, second law, third law. But then this zeroth law came into picture after the first law had been postulated. And because it was more important and more basic in comparison with the first law, that is why it was decided to name it as the zeroth law, right? Be aware of what is its application. And that is something which can be important for you. Prepare at least 4 subjects thoroughly. Here, as I've already stated, derivations may not be asked, but there could be in-depth discussion about the formulas, about the concepts, about they could be keeping on increasing the degree of difficulty. Again, for example, if we are talking about, let's say, what are the different theories of failure? Okay, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever is the number of theories. What is the application of each of them? Why do we need so many theories? And how do we choose which theory is applicable where? Now, this is something which you need to be aware of. They may ask you to draw a stress strain curve for a particular material. They may ask you to draw a comparative stress strain curve for 2 materials, maybe iron and aluminum. Why is the slope of one different from the other? The reason, it could get into a discussion related to that. Talking about some very simple concepts on even transformers for that matter, the importance of core, the material for the core, why is a humming sound coming from a transformer? Then there could also be very simple questions related to a comparison between power transformer and distribution transformer, maybe a comparison of the physical size of the two transformers for the same MVA or a KVA rating. And then a very simple question could as well be, why do we give the rating of a transformer in KVA or MVA, and why not kilowatt or megawatt, right? In terms of, let's say, some very basic electronics questions, suppose digital electronics is your area. Maybe they start off with what are the different logic families, the fastest, the slowest, the most popular. Obviously, CMOS is one of the most popular logic families. The reasons for CMOS being chosen as the preferred logic family. Clearly, the big advantage is because of very low power consumption, being complementary MOS, right? And then the other big time possible advantage could be the high fan in and fan out capabilities. Fastest logic family being ECL, but we still don't prefer to use it. The reasons for it. They could get into these kinds of nitty-gritties, right? Project and training not likely to matter. They may ask you, where did you go for your internship? What was the title of your project? But they may just pass it and move on. When we say project, they'll be more interested in discussing about the subjects connected with your project. Remember one thing, and this is a very important statement that I'm making. They do not ask you to carry your project report or the training report with you. In other words, you are free to choose what was your BTech project and where did you go for internship. If you have not gone for any training because it was not a part of your course curriculum, you can say it in as many words. Sir, industrial training or internship was not a part of our course curriculum. It's fully accepted. There is absolutely no problem. In some institutes, they ask you to go in for an additional course during summers in lieu of the training, or they may ask you to go for some kind of a training on, let's say, MATLAB or StatPro or ANSYS or something like that. Again, based on suggestions and guidance from your HOD or from your project. All acceptable answers, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Hobbies will not have any role in your selection or non-selection. But then the last line, which is even at the cost of repetition, do not bluff while answering. अगर आंसर नहीं पता है, simply say, sorry sir, I don't know. Acceptable, कोई problem नहीं है. Usually the first question that can be, tell us something about yourself, right? I have shown this, I kept this slide, and obviously I'll be sharing the content of this slide with all of you by way of a mail, which will reach you maybe tomorrow morning or maybe after the session today itself. This is the preferred sequence. I'm using the term preferred sequence. 90% of the time इसको सुनने के बाद भी लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं, सर आई एम फ्रॉम अ रूरल बैकग्राउंड. आपके रूरल बैकग्राउंड होने से उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. दे विल नॉट गिव यू इवन वन एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट बिकॉज ऑफ बीइंग अ रूरल बैकग्राउंड. नो. सो डोंट स्टार्ट विद दैट. डोंट ट्राई टू गेट सिंपैथी. That's the clear-cut message. About your schooling, don't talk about ranting about your name of the school and board and your percentage in 10th and 12th. No, they are not concerned. They don't require it. Important is your BTech degree. You can simply say, sir, after completing my schooling from my hometown, which is Delhi, I joined Delhi College of Engineering to pursue my BTech in Electrical Electronics Engineering in the year 1971. I'm talking about myself, right? And then the second statement, I did not use the term DCE. I have used the full form, Delhi College of Engineering. Now it is Delhi Technological University, right? Sir, I completed my BTech in 1976 with a aggregate percentage of 82.75. If you have CGPA, then you mention CGPA. Then observational summer training, BTech project, all those things can be stated. Remember to keep the sentences short. Don't try to make a sentence which is more than 15 to 20 words long. I don't have a problem in making a sentence which is even 20, maybe which is 3, 4, 5 lines long. I have absolutely no problem. And even when I state such a long sentence, it will be fully readable and understandable when I'm saying it. In fact, this particular sentence which I spoke itself was a very long sentence. But I'm sure you did not face any difficulty in understanding any part of this statement which I had made. But avoid making long sentences. It will be helpful to you. एंड सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट, अगर आपको इंग्लिश बोलने में दिक्कत है तो एक बार उनसे परमिशन ले लीजिए, सर प्लीज अलाउ मी टू यूज मिक्स ऑफ हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश, एंड दे विल नॉट से नो टू यू. बार बार परमिशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. अगर आपसे क्वेश्चन इंग्लिश में भी पूछ रहे हैं तो भी आप हिंदी इंग्लिश मिक्स में आंसर करिए. जीरो एरर, जीरो प्रॉब्लम. बट बी एबल टू एक्सप्रेस योर नॉलेज इन क्लियर टर्म्स. गोल गोल घुमा घुमा के किसी चीज के बारे में मत बोलना. कोई सवाल पूछा है उसका डायरेक्ट आंसर करना. भूमिका बना के उसके आंसर तक नहीं पहुंचना. डोंट गिव ए बैकग्राउंड ऑफ व्हाई यू आर गिविंग ए पर्टिकुलर आंसर. स्ट्रेट अवे गिव द आंसर. दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट. आफ्टर गिविंग द प्रिसाइज आंसर, टेक अ मोमेंट्री पॉज, 2-3 सेकेंड का पॉज लेके, और उसके बाद अगर देना चाहते हो एक्सप्लेनेशन दे दो. 90% of the time, they may not be interested in listening to the explanation. और ये 2 सेकेंड का पॉज दिया ना, ये एक तरह से एक इन्विटेशन है उनको कि क्या मैं कंटिन्यू करूं विद द एक्सप्लेनेशन और यू आर गिविंग मी अनदर क्वेश्चन. ये आपने बोल के नहीं कहना कि जी अगला क्वेश्चन आप पूछोगे या मैं बताऊं. डोंट से दिस. दैट मोमेंट्री पॉज, दे मे raise another question based on what you have stated. Maybe they pick up a word from the answer that you gave and then carry on with that. There is every possibility that this entire list of content will not be permitted to be spoken by you. No. Maybe you mentioned about your name of the college and you gave the title of your BTech project. They will start off the questions from there. Forget about covering the rest of them. They have forgotten, you also forget. Not needed. Not needed. I hope I'm clear so far. There is no problem at all, right? Somebody had written, sir, HR questions कैसे आंसर करेंगे. तो बेटा HR क्वेश्चंस को आंसर करने के लिए तो आपको ONGC वाला वीडियो हर हालत में देखना पड़ेगा. You have to watch. That 1 hour 20 minutes clipping is something which you have to watch. Just read this slide. Just read this slide. I'm leaving it on for a moment. Just take a look at it. Go through the contents and we'll discuss each one point by point. Now, when we are talking about these questions, this is a typical variety of the HR questions which may be asked, right? Now, here I'm going to be answering the first question, the second question, and the fourth question. For the rest of the questions, answers, I want you to spend your time in going through the ONGC video. I've discussed it threadbare, going through every single aspect very minutely. Please do that. Please do that. So let me start with the first question. Why do you want to join NPCIL? Don't say the salary is very high. Don't say that it's a company which is engaged in generating power, generating clean power. No, that doesn't matter. See, clearly the reason is, see, they are recruiting for 6 disciplines. They are recruiting for chemical, civil, electrical, electronics, instrumentation, and mechanical. So 6 disciplines they are recruiting. Very clearly, they are giving you an opportunity to work in your domain. You see, NPCIL is one of those organizations where an instrumentation engineer actually gets to work related to instrumentation. A civil engineer obviously is engaged in the civil works, construction of new assets, and maintenance and upgradation and upkeep of the existing civil engineering assets. Mechanical engineers have a variety of roles, variety of options available to them, which means they could be primarily you are going to be in operation and maintenance. There is very little room for you. There is very little room for you to go for, sorry, there is very little room for you to go for research and development in NPCIL. You may get an opportunity to do something here and there, but then the design part of anything to do with nuclear power is the domain of BARC and not of NPCIL. In other words, NPCIL is the execution arm or the production arm for nuclear power in India. Whenever there is a new project which is conceived, a new site which is identified, starting from the basic studies till the time of the final execution, NPCIL engineers work very closely with BARC. Why they work very closely with BARC? Because BARC is the one which is provided in designer. That's it. Right? Okay. So it's an opportunity you're getting as a mechanical engineer, as an electrical engineer, as a civil engineer to work in your domain. There are a number of companies who are recruiting the people from different engineering branches. Take even the case of a company like IOCL or HPCL, but you actually end up getting posted in marketing. Where is your knowledge getting utilized? NPCIL is one of those few where you actually get the opportunity of working in your domain. And obviously, it's an organization which has a very fabulous pay package. The possibility of transfers is very less, which means that once you join an NPCIL plant, you can actually expect to be there for a long duration. Which means if you want to settle down in that city location, yes, it's very much possible. No doubt that the locations are not the top line towns. No, they are not. They cannot be. They cannot be. Because a nuclear power plant requires a huge amount of area, plus it is preferred to be near a water body. primarily for the cooling water requirements, the enormous amount of cooling water requirements. And that's the reason why they are remote locations. But then the best part is every NPCIL location has a big residential complex where they are providing accommodation for all the necessary workforce. So if you want, you can stay in the colony. If you don't want to stay in the colony, yes, you can definitely stay outside and make arrangements on your own. That's not a problem. But they are having a huge residential complex with practically every project site. I'm using the term project site. They are production sites also, which means they are operating nuclear plants. Whether it is Rawat Bhata in near Kota, whether it is Narora in UP, whether it is Kalapattam or Kundankulam in Tamil Nadu, Kaiga in Karnataka, Kakrapar in Gujarat. Tarapur, of course, is the stalwart. The very first nuclear power facility in India which came up was in Tarapur. Everywhere there is a big residential complex. New project sites are there. There is one in Haryana, right? A place called Gorakhpur. That's a new site where work is going on, right? See, obviously, we have been going slow primarily because of the non-availability of the fuel. And NPCIL or the nuclear power program in India, we are using what is called a fission process. Uranium-235 is the isotope, but then we are also trying using thorium now. The latest plant which went critical, I think it was the one which is in Kota, which went critical a month or two back, is making use of thorium. And that is what is somehow leading us to attain that independence. Recycling, the auto recycling of the fuel is taking place. The regeneration part is coming into picture. But they are not going to get into that. They can ask these questions only from chemical engineers, if at all they ask. Otherwise, they will not ask this question from any other disciplines candidates. So if you don't know, you can say, sorry, sir, I don't know. I still have to learn about it. I'll have to learn about it once I join NPCIL. Good enough, right? Next, we are looking at what do you expect will be a work profile? I have already stated the work profile primarily for civil, obviously, is construction and maintenance of the civil engineering assets, which means it could be buildings, it could be residential building, it could be plant building, it could be control room, anything, right? And the design for each of these will primarily come from BARC. The design for the nuclear power complex will 100% come from BARC. For the residential complex or other facilities, it may be with some flexibility, right? Mechanical, electrical, electronics, instrumentation, all branches representatives are going to be in operation and maintenance options. In other words, you will be expected to have shift duties, and it will continue for at least 10 to 15 years. That is what was a feedback which I got from some students who had joined NPCIL, and they got it from some of their seniors, right? But it's a regulated life. Even if it's shift duties, it's a regulated life. That means there are no sudden changes. So that part is clearly to be understood, right? The question about why should we select you? I'm not answering this question. I want you to go and refer to the ONGC video. The next question: how will you contribute to our organization or NPCIL? Again, go through the content of ONGC video. Career objective, in very simple words, I want to rise to the top of the ladder. Why? What is the definition of top of the ladder? All those aspects, please go through the ONGC video to get the answers to these. I can do that, but I'm avoiding intentionally. Those videos are already there. There's no point in spending time in redoing something which is already there, right? But please do spend. I have given the precise start and the finish. I have given you the link of the YouTube video. You can go through it. You can definitely go through it, right? Now, in case you are doing MTech, now this is one question which had been asked. I forgot. I'll re-answer that question, though it is answered in the ONGC session also. If you are pursuing MTech, which means you would have completed 2 semesters. Now, you can talk about your pursuing MTech. But then the question is, so will you leave your MTech midway? Now here it's a tricky question. If the institute where you're pursuing MTech allows you to continue your project work as an external candidate, you can always tell them, sir, my institute permits me to suspend the MTech after completing the coursework requirements, and I can finish my MTech thesis during the next 3 years. Obviously, it will be subject to permission being granted by NPCI, and I'll look forward to that. You can very politely say that कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, बोल सकते हो, कोई नुकसान नहीं होगा बोलने में. अगर आपका 4th सेमेस्टर है तो ऑब्वियसली वो तो बताना ही बताना है, बिकॉज द रिजल्ट ऑफ एनपीसीआईएल इंटरव्यूज will possibly be declared during the last week of June. And the training starts maybe about a month later after the medical and other formalities. They maintain this list. They maintain a waiting list which is active till probably the 16th of September, if I remember correctly in the advertisement they have mentioned. So that is the way it is. And the waiting list keeps moving. Yes. They wait till the last date given to the selected candidates. They are given the offer. If they don't join, then they automatically send the offers to the people who are in the waiting list. So that's it. What if you're not selected? Why there is a gap? Why is your academic performance inconsistent? Why did you not pursue MTech? Why did you pursue MTech? All these questions are answered in the ONGC session. Please go through that. Please go through that. And let me tell you one more thing. I'll have one more interaction after this. It'll be after 3 or 4 days. But then the precondition is that you should have watched the ONGC and the HPCL video and be ready with your questions further. I'll again conduct this session, not full session, but that session will be explicitly for answering your interview related doubts. Your interviews are starting from when? I'll have this interaction before that. Your interviews are starting from the 6th of June, is it? Or when? Let me see. Somebody has mentioned in the chat. 8th of June, right? No, this is the date of your interview, you are saying. I'm talking starting from, they had mentioned it in the advertisement. Anyway, I'll conduct this session to address your doubts, queries related to interview process, but after you have gone through the ONGC video. Please be assured that I'll be sending you the invitation and ask you to join, right? And the timing will be 8 to 10 p.m. so that most of you will be able to join. Somebody says I was in the maintenance department for almost 2 years in a private company and then left. Obviously, the type of equipment that you are maintaining is something which you need to be preparing. Types of maintenance, preventive maintenance, corrective maintenance, breakdown maintenance, all these aspects are required. Don't try to don't try to match their needs. No, let it be their perspective. Let it be their perspective. Jagdish, watch the ONGC video, and when I call you again, then we discuss it. If you still have the doubt, you will get that doubt clear. Please go through that. It will answer your question, right? NPCIL can never get privatized, and even if it gets privatized, it will continue to be a dominant player in the field of nuclear power, and your services will be more than sought. So there is absolutely no difficulty in continued employment for you. The question about gap must be disturbing a lot of people, answered explicitly, taking a variety of gaps in the ONGC video. But then you are getting one more opportunity, which will be after 3-4 days in the evening, well before your actual interview starts, right? So be assured your questions are getting answered. All right. Moving forward. See, when there are a lot of equipments which you are maintaining, then you can identify a select group of equipments which you can mention when there is a discussion about it. And obviously, when you are a mechanical engineer, you could talk about pumps, you can talk about compressors, you could talk about steam turbine if it is there, or any other equipment. Even it could be heavy earth moving equipment, anything could be mentioned. Because whenever you're talking about the maintenance of those equipments, A, there would be the engineering aspects of the equipment per se. B, there would be the maintenance management aspects. So both these areas come into picture and you can highlight them and then get into a meaningful discussion related to these things, right? Which subjects should you be preparing or preferring to prepare for this interview? Let's take a look at it one by one. Please hold your questions for some time. I'll answer them. I'll answer them, right? Okay. Whatever messages are being posted in YouTube, I'll take up that also. Don't worry. Made Easy offers one online mock interview to the students who are enrolling for the paid program. We do not offer any free mock interviews. So let me be very clear about it. The session which we are off, the program that we are offering, it has a set of recorded lectures. Don't be mistaken that they are specifically made for NPCIL. No, they are not. So if somebody is trying to, say that they are repeating the lectures and this and that, yes, they are repeated lectures, but they give you an idea about what is the direction in which the interview process can be going for different subjects. Your call purely if you want to take it, nobody's forced to. Nobody's forced to, right? So it's open to anybody who wants to join. We'll be posting a link. We'll be posting a link in the Telegram groups so that those of you who are interested, they can go for it, right? Okay. So one by one, we are going to take up the subjects for each of the disciplines. I'll not cover chemical. Okay, electronics is the first one. You can talk about analog circuits, digital circuits, control systems, network theory, signal systems. Communication engineering can be chosen, EMT antennas can be chosen, EDC can be chosen. I kept EDC at the end. But again, depending on your preference, you can move up or down. I won't say ever to make a statement, sir, I have prepared all subjects. You're free to ask from any subject. That will be a disaster waiting to happen. गलती मत कर देना. 4 subjects identify करो. Meaningful subjects होंगे, connected with their work. That will be very positive for you, right? For mechanical engineering, SOM is not possible to be missed out under any circumstances. Fluid mechanics, fluid machinery, steam turbines and pumps, very specifically, the moment you mention fluid machinery, thermodynamics can be mentioned, heat transfer can be mentioned as a separate subject, RAC can be mentioned as a separate subject, even material science can be mentioned. Now here, material science, I'm not excluding for NPCIL, but I always say material science with a pinch of salt, because material science in BARC can be a very tough subject to handle. Here in NPCIL interview, they may not go as deep into material science related questions as they usually go in BARC. Production is to be kept low. That's the reason why you are not finding any mention of the production related subject, or even for that matter, the subjects like TOM or machine design or any such things, right? You can mention power plant engineering. I have not written here, but you can mention. I'll add it. Let me add it. You can definitely mention it. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Going back. इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन स्टैंडर्ड सब्जेक्ट्स हैं इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन के लिए. प्रोसेस कंट्रोल इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन, सेंसर्स एंड ट्रांसड्यूसर्स, कंट्रोल सिस्टम्स, मेजरमेंट्स. Go in depth about control walls, PID diagrams, network theory, digital electronics if you want, but then I think these subjects are sufficient for you to look at as far as instrumentation as a branch is concerned, right? Abhinav Prakash, you don't have to necessarily mention power electronics. You can, because when we talk about the subjects for electrical, you will find that I have included power electronics. It is understood that you are preparing power electronics. Electrical machines, definitely very important. Transformers, very important. Power electronics can be a chosen subject. Control systems can be a chosen subject. Power systems must fully cover protection equipment. And here the generation part of power systems may require more attention, right? Measurements can be prepared, analog electronics can be prepared, EMT can be prepared, but then you have sufficient variety of questions with sufficient variety of subjects from which to choose. Power electronics can be chosen, कोई problem नहीं है, बिल्कुल mention कर सकते हैं, right? For civil engineers, CPM, construction planning and management, will be the most important subject for you. The reason why I'm making this statement is because you, as civil engineers, will be performing the role of multi agency coordination and project progress monitoring. So that's the reason why CPM can play a very important role. Contracts can be very important, right? Evaluation of bids can be an important area. Okay. Building materials could be an important subject. Soil mechanics or geotech could be a subject that you can prepare. SOM can be definitely taken into consideration. Environment, structural analysis, RCC, steel structure, fluid mechanics, fluid machinery, earthquake engineering, any of these subjects can be prepared. But my suggestion is don't exclude CPM, don't exclude SOM. They will remain important. They will remain important. So even if you have to at least revise the basics of project management, please do that. Please do that. At least know the difference between PERT and CPM. And for construction projects, do we use PERT or do we use CPM? And why do we use whichever is the chosen direction? Are you aware of any software packages which are available for project monitoring? Yes, there is a Microsoft project which is a well-known software. Then there is a software called Primavera. These are two of the very old, long, stalwart softwares available. You can just go through one or two tutorials of these two packages, and you should be able to answer some basic questions related to that, right? Uh, the list of the CMDs of NPCIL, the current CMD is Mr. Bhuvan Chandra Pathak. Forget the rest of them. The whole-time directors, Director HR is Nitin Chaudhary, and the Director Technical for the LWR is S. Jayakrishnan, and Director Technical is V. Rajesh. Then we have Operations, Projects, Finance. Normally, they expect you to know the name of the CMD. So, Shri Bhuvan Chandra Pathak is the CMD. You can remember the name. The different locations where the NPCIL projects are located, operating projects are located, right? I'll be sending this, I'll be sending the printout of these slides to you, right? Uh, Tarapur, which was the oldest power plant, became operational in October 69. There are 4 units which are operational. Then we have the 2 units of Narora of 220 megawatts each. They are in the PHWR category. All this information is picked up from the NPCIL website. It is just that it's going to help you in looking at information in a collated manner. There are more units of RAPP, 200 and 220 megawatts at Kota, Rajasthan. Then there are 2 more units of 700 megawatts each. There is 1 unit, 700 megawatts, which became operational last year in March. And there are 2 more which are currently under construction. The Madras Atomic Power Station, Kalpakkam, which is also the venue for some of the interviews, I think they have 2 operating units of 220 megawatts. Then Kaiga in Karnataka, again, which is one of the locations for your interview, has 4 operational units of 220 megawatts each, right? Kundankulam, again in Tamil Nadu, has 2 operational units of 1000 megawatts each. And Kakrapar in Gujarat has 2 units of 220 megawatts each, which are operational. If you notice, the most recent to go online is the 7th unit of Rajasthan Atomic Power Station, Kota, which is a 700 megawatt unit, and it is a pressurized heavy water reactor, right? The projects which are currently under different stages. RAPP Unit 7, 700 megawatts has already been completed. The eighth unit is in progress and it should be getting completed soon enough. Kundankulam, there are 4 units currently under construction. Unit 3 and 4, which are 2 units each of 1000 megawatts, the work is at advanced stages. But in the unit 5 and 6, again 1000 megawatts each at Kundankulam, the civil works have just started. About a few months back, the first of the civil structures was the concreting was done for that. Gorakhpur in Haryana, that's Gorakhpur Haryana Anu Vidyut Pariyojana, GHAVP. There are 2 units of 700 megawatts, Unit 1 and Unit 2, 700 megawatts each. The civil works is in progress. Kaiga, Unit 5 and Unit 6, again of 700 megawatts each. The work has started with effect from March 1st this year. The total capacity under in terms of addition is 8200 megawatt, and the total capacity which is already operational is 8780 megawatt. Now this is one number which you have to remember. 8780 megawatts is a number that you have to remember, right? Okay. The performance highlights of NPCIL since its inception. The obviously nuclear power is a clean power source, clean source of power. The total cumulative generation is 983,834 million units of power, and it has avoided in release of carbon dioxide emissions to the extent of 846 million tons. In other words, if the nuclear power capacity was not there and we had thermal power generation based on coal, then the amount of carbon dioxide emissions would have been to the extent of 846 million tons. That's the reason why we are trying to add more and more nuclear capacity. With thorium getting utilized as the nuclear fuel, that is something which will enable us to achieve additional nuclear power generation in a much quicker time frame. Right? I think that's somehow the basic content with regard to the NPCIL. My email ID is already available. Let me write down in the chat box before I move on to the questions. It is DK Arora at madizi.in. Now I'm taking on the questions. I'll take up questions both in the chat box as well as in the YouTube. Let me first clear off all the questions which are there in the YouTube chat line. Currently, Abhinav Prakash, I have already answered your question. Mock interviews, I have already answered the question. Power electronics, if you are, yes, you can prepare as one of the 4 subjects. Surely you can. Dushyant Chaudhary says, all my teachers used to give notes and prepare from a set of questions. How to deal with it? Dushyant, I'm not very clear about it. They will not go into the nitty-gritties of how you were taught during your college. But yes, you are expected to know the basic working of the equipment. I don't know what is your branch so that I could possibly take up examples and guide you in that. Ashish, if you find yourself in a situation where, just a moment. See, if you find that the first 4 questions are not possible to be answered by you, it is likely that it is from a subject which you have not prepared. Uh, Request to all the students to strictly refrain from their kalakari. I'll be forced to eject you from the meeting. Please don't do this. Don't behave like immatures. Okay? Let me do one thing, yeah. Just give me a minute. I want to disable everything for the participants. Yes, I have suspended. Right. Please don't disturb the flow. Chemical engineering, Shruti, the only subjects that I can talk about is heat and mass transfer. These are the two subjects which you have to prepare very thoroughly. Fluid mechanics is again a subject you have to prepare it very thoroughly. Possibly the nuclear process is an area which you should prepare well, because that is an area where they may go into details, right? Join college this year after counseling and willing to start early in gate prep. Jeet Adlakha, I don't understand. Are you going to join first year this year? Then obviously I'm not in a position to answer your question. Saurabh Se Baghel, I'm preparing for ESC mains. It's my first attempt and I found difficulty to manage NPCIL prep with mains. Saurabh, all I will say is focus on your ESC mains, whatever theoretical knowledge that you are preparing, you just have to be able to articulate and speak it out in the interview. That is all you are needed to do. Don't go in any special direction for your NPCIL interview preparation. That's it. That is all I'll say. Okay. Dushyant, you are from electronics and had zero practicals and never saw any lab. Dushyant, all I want you to do is try to know about the test and measuring equipment. That is something which they may get into, if at all. But chances are they will go into the direction of the subjects and not into the lab work. Don't worry about it. Adlakha, Jeet, Aladakha, don't bother about it right now. Don't start your gate preparation from first year, start from third year onwards. Or earliest is fourth semester, not earlier than that. Thermo is something, Shruti, which you must do. Thermo you must do. Chemical reactions, you may have to. You may have to. Rahul Chauhan says that personal biodata form. I have the personal biodata form of the previous year, which I'll include in the mailbox. Don't worry about it. They ask data related questions like temperature, value, efficiency of plants, and ratios. If you don't answer these data, it will not hamper your interview. Don't worry. Don't worry, Vijay. It will not. MTech in geotech engineering for them. Yeah, pick up the subjects of BTech course curriculum. They're not testing your knowledge of MTech. They are testing your knowledge of BTech, because BTech is the essential qualification. That's it. During my BE, I was absent for second semester, so got backlog but cleared in the next semester. As long as your engineering is completed within 4 years, you will be eligible for every PSU. But the moment your engineering degree takes more than 4 years, you may not be eligible for all the PSUs. No. Shazeb Kamran, don't mention about your ESC mains unless they specifically ask you, are you appearing for mains? Yes, sir, I have cleared ESC prelims. The only reason why I have been appearing for ESC prelims is because that is the only exam which is conducted regularly apart from GATE to enable me to assess my state of readiness. That's it. That is the way you can always say. Okay. Graduation in electrical engineering, but shortlisted in EC. Jaydev, as long as you are meeting the requirement, the eligibility requirement of your degree listed in the electronics segment, there will be no problem. There will be no problem. Okay. Gaurav Kishore, please look at the contents of the video that I have mentioned and then take the answer. Under no circumstances should there be any mention about joining a coaching institute. I repeat, under no circumstances should be saying that after completing BTech, I joined Made Easy. What is Made Easy? No, no. They don't look at coaching institutes very kindly. So please don't talk about joining any coaching institute. After BTech, my 1 year got spent due to health issues. Highlight mat karo. Highlight mat karo. Gap hai to hai. That's it. Personal detail form, I'll just share and then cover the contents in case there is any of them. Okay. Harsh, if you are unable to answer some very basic questions related to the subjects that you have spoken, then there is a problem. Then there's a problem. And Jaydev, I have already given a variety of subjects from which to choose. So fair enough. डॉक्यूमेंट्स जो मेंशन किए हैं कॉल लेटर में, उसके अलावा भी कुछ डॉक्यूमेंट्स लिखे लेके जाने हैं क्या? लाइक सीवी वगैरह? सीवी नहीं लेके जाना है. यू हैव टू टेक द बायोडाटा फॉर्म ड्यूली फिल्ड अप. If you did not have your BTech project because of COVID conditions, they ask you to, you can always say, sir, it was a study project. That's it. And Status King, at least use your proper name. Yeah. Short clips, my suggestion is start from fourth semester onwards, not earlier than that. Because at least some basic subjects should get covered. Engineering mathematics in particular. Virendra Kumar, if you got selected in NPCIL but you did not join because you were appearing for RPSC exam, they will not take very kindly to you mentioning it. They will say that if you have joined RPSC as an assistant engineer, why are you wasting our time and your time? So either don't mention about your selection or something. If you don't mention about MTech, it doesn't matter. It will not really matter. Abhishek, if they ask you a question from a subject which you have not prepared, after a 2 second pause, you can always say, sorry, sir, I don't know about this. I have not studied this concept as a part of my BTech course curriculum. They are only looking at BTech course curriculum related knowledge. And my dear friends, please don't send individual messages. Send a message to everyone. It will not be possible for me to open every tab. So please rewrite your message to everyone. Pursuing masters in structural engineering, should I mention it? If you are thorough with structural engineering design, definitely. Anshu, you were not listening when I stated about your continuing MTech as an external candidate. Please, electrical graduate preparing machines, power systems, power electronics, and fourth subject can be network theory. Definitely you can. कोई problem नहीं है अक्षित. बिल्कुल कर सकते हो. If they asked you gave interview of BARC and if selected in both, which one will you choose? BARC and why NPCIL and why not BRC? Sir, with due respect, that is something that is a call I'll have to take when the final result comes. But if they insist that you got selected in both, then which one will you take? Sir, I'll prefer to go to PARC because I am more inclined to work in the design areas. अगर नहीं है design में interest, तो NPCIL बोल दो, कोई problem नहीं है. Shubhanshu Sharma, I think you were sleeping throughout. So I'll not answer your question. Sorry. Mentioning MTech does cover your gap. It does. Obviously, yes. Uh, Sudhanshu, the questions for instrumentation will be by and large similar in as with BARC, but only thing is here there can be a little more practical orientation. That is it. They could get into nitty-gritties of calibration, accuracy, and sensitivity. These are the areas which they can go in deeper details in NPCIL interview. If power electronics is weak, don't mention it as a subject, कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी. Direct application power electronics की NPCIL के लिए नहीं है. Okay. I'll not be sending PPT, but I'll send the content which are required for you to effectively handle the interview. Harsh, if you have taken the Made Easy IGP course, then definitely you can go through the videos of the subjects that are available to you, watch them, and make your own notes. एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है आप सबके लिए. एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है सबके लिए. वो ये है कि अगर आपको बोलने में दिक्कत होती है तो पिकअप मैगजीन और न्यूज़पेपर और योर सब्जेक्ट बुक एंड रीड अलाउड फॉर हाफ एन आवर एवरी डे. It will help you get rid of your reluctance. It will really help you get rid of your reluctance. Lalit Singh, if your interest is design and research in BARC, why are you wasting our time and your time? Sir, I'm looking for a job. And if not BARC, then NPCIL is where I can get to utilize the contribution of BARC in the implementation work. Straight answer, उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं बोल सकते. There is only one mock interview which will be given. if you enroll for the program. Vijay, I have already answered your question. Currently in final semester of BTech and I have not got कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. They are requiring you to have a final degree certificate before the training starts. And I'm sure you'll be able to do it. The final semester students can get an eligibility letter from their college saying that they're in the they'll be appearing for the final semester exam on such and such date. That's it. Good enough. Up carry the mark sheets up to seventh semester. Hyder Ali, we are not answering your question. Please don't waste time. Let's remain focused. We can do it when we discuss about how you did in your interviews. This is a theoretical question that you are asking me. Sushmit, you were again sitting with closed ears. I have not mentioned at any point in time they are oriented for the interview guidance lectures are oriented towards NPCIL interview. We are not at any point in time saying that they are specifically oriented towards NPCIL interview. So please, your question is meaningless. If you have not mentioned your MTech details in the application form, but you are pursuing in nuclear in energy science from IIT Delhi relevant to nuclear power, you can mention when they ask you. Yes, you can. Did not write few of the important points. I'll be covering. Alok, you will not miss out anything. Don't worry. गैप में फैमिली प्रॉब्लम्स और पेरेंट्स हेल्थ से उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता बेटा प्लीज दैट इज ओनली टू टेक गेन सिंपथी इट विल नॉट वर्क प्लीज डोंट डू दैट प्लीज डोंट डू दैट Narora power plant, they are providing accommodation. Not only they are providing accommodation, they are also providing pick and drop facility. I think they will be giving the details of the pickup time and the location. They are picking up from Noida, if I remember correctly. So you can utilize that opportunity. Every year they are doing it. Let me try to look at the form and see if there is anything special which is required. Location-wise degree of difficulty of interview is almost the same. No. They have what is called a common minimum program. They go by that only. Don't worry. For parents, I'm not very sure. You can write to them, ask them about the details. They also provide pick and drop for, I think, this place. Even for Kalpakkam, they are providing it. Then they are also providing some facilities for Kaiga. They'll send you a note. Alok Pandey working in contract profile of BEL since February 26. Since my question is, should I mention it? Uh, they will not, if you want, you can mention it verbally because you're a temporary employee and your services will get utilized. You will be free from your, you'll be absolved of your responsibility after the completion of the term. That's it. See, the purpose of these interview lecture, the video sessions about various subjects is to give you a flavor of the flow of the interview process. That is the extent to which it will help you for each of the subjects which are covered. Okay. If you are done mechanical in BTech in mechanical and automation, you have to prepare, you can prepare only mechanical subjects. There is no problem. There is no problem. Mumbai, they don't provide accommodation. No. They will not provide accommodation in Mumbai. I think the venue of the interview in Mumbai is earlier, once they had conducted somewhere near Powai, but then last year I think they conducted it in Anushakti Nagar only. Vijay, you will have to refer to the ONGC video to get the answer to this question. Surya Teja, if you are prepared for GATE for the last 3 years, there is no problem. You have taken longer than necessary to reach a stage of getting shortlisted. About dress, about entry, etc. Again, ONGC video will be good enough for you. Tie and suit is not recommended for NPCIL interview. No. There is no difference in the interview process of NPCIL at Mumbai in comparison with Narora or Kalpakkam or Kaiga. No. Rohit, state it in as many words. The reason why you left your private job and continued with your preparation for GATE was because your goal was to join to work in a government organization. That's it. That was the motivating factor for you. That's it. Working in CIL, Eastern Coalfields. What is your branch? Satish, if you're already working in CIL, I think you better wait for PGCIL. You better wait for PGCIL. That is what I would suggest. बेटा जैसे अंकित जैसे ही 12 बजे आप जैसे ही आपकी ट्रेन 7 बजे पहुंचती है इमीडिएटली लीव फॉर द वेन्यू डोंट वेस्ट टाइम इन गोइंग डूइंग एनीथिंग अदर देन दैट जस्ट रीच द वेन्यू दैट्स इट and even if you are slightly late you can always tell them sir my train got delayed they will accommodate you what is the venue of your interview Ankit I am not responding to the chances in grid India please don't ask me this question. Yeah, Mumbai, where are you getting down? If you are getting down in VT, that is Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, from there you take a local and get down at Mankhurd. And from Mankhurd, you can take a local conveyance to reach the venue. What is the venue for the interview in NPCIL in Mumbai? That is something which you have to answer first. You must have downloaded the call letter. I have a request. Please mail. Okay, Mayur Guest House, NPCI, but it's in Anushakti Nagar only. Na? Yes. I think you should look at go by the local train from Vikrol, from this VT, that is Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, or even for that matter, Bandra, to get down at Mankhurd, which is very close to the location where you have to reach. 8 a.m. reporting is strict, yes. So don't take it casually. Don't take it casually. Visited Narora. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है दुष्यंत जो उन्होंने बताया वही बताओ उनको because obviously as a trainee they are not giving you much they are not giving you much and don't be under the mistaken impression that they look for personality please no they are looking for technical soundness man if somebody is telling you they look for personality uh, I have my reservations about that claim. See if 12 o'clock reporting at Mumbai then you reach the venue not later than 11 not later than 11. I don't think they have mentioned it in the call letter, David. If you can read the call letter properly, then you will know the answer to your question. Nahi bhai. Lalit, if your reporting time is 8 a.m., then you better be there at 8 a.m. You can't report at 10 because 12 p.m. पर भी कुछ का reporting है. तो उन्होंने slot book किए हुए ना. I mean, you have seen the number of candidates who have been shortlisted for interview by NPCI. There are multiple panels running simultaneously and they have a huge list to be cleared. आपको शायद पता ही है how many candidates are shortlisted for NPCI? Mechanical. Mechanical, they have shortlisted 1,500 candidates and there are only how many days? 14 days in which to cover all the candidates? No, please. There will definitely be questions related to the practical aspects. Yes. They won't ask you to solve numerical. No, they won't ask you to solve numerical. No. Okay. Let me see if the questions in YouTube. GK Aladka, you can write to me if you want. I'm just giving my email ID in the chat box for YouTube also, in case you have not seen it. DK Arora at madeeasy.in. Okay. Let me see. Good boy, what is your message? Mumbai Center interview time is 8 a.m. Then you better reach before 8 a.m. Good boy. Let me try to locate your question first. I'm not able to see your question at all, good boy. It will be good if you can mention your name properly and then write your question once again. Ashish, just look for the Google Forms link in the Made Easy Telegram official channel, and you can fill in your details and you will receive it. My Gmail ID I have already written, beta. It's dkarora@madeasy.in. Okay. Any of you can write to me at dkarora@madeasy.in, but with meaningful questions and not meaningless questions. I don't answer questions related to what are my chances of getting selected in this and that. No, I don't answer that. Please. It will be a waste of your time and my time both. Let me try to locate this form. If it is possible for me to locate, and I'll just bring it in front for all of you, those of you who are left. Just give me a minute because I had seen it. Right. I have the NPCIL application form. I'm just sharing it on the screen. This was the form which was mailed, which was expected to be filled up last year. So I hope it's going to be the same form this year also. There is nothing very specific in this. Let's see. Application number, gate registration number, post applied for is executive trainee, discipline, your branch, interview center, whatever is your interview center. Then reference advertisement number. It's there in the advertisement, name in capital letters, your latest passport size photograph, and signature across it. Don't cover the face part of your photograph. Don't cover the face part of your photograph. Okay. Dheeraj, what is your question? I can't locate, there are so many questions. Can you rewrite your question, please? I'll be able to answer it. Category, gender, nationality, address, obviously, these are all matter of fact questions. इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. If any of your relatives working in NPCIL or Department of Atomic Energy or its constituent units, relatives means your siblings or your parents. That's it. Not beyond that. Your cousins are not coming in the category of this thing. Are you working in any PSU, central government, state or central? Then you have to write and give the details and also your responsibility. Okay. Dheeraj, I hope, please rewrite your question. It's not possible for me to locate your question, Baba. If you are listening, then please answer. Please rewrite. You have to give the names of two references other than your close family members. The close family members are once again your siblings and your parents. Other than that, you can write the name and addresses of any persons who live in your locality or who are well known to you. They can be your working college seniors, they can be your college professors, or they can be some seniors who are living in the neighborhood. ये देना जरूरी है, ये देना जरूरी है. और कंप्लीट डिटेल दीजिएगा, इनकम्प्लीट डिटेल मत देना. And when you are writing their email ID or any other details, please write in capital letters so that it is readable. So that it is readable. Dheeraj completed his MTech in Geotechnical Engineering in 2024. What to prepare regarding MTech subjects and thesis? If you're Dheeraj, if you can write the details by mail to me, giving the title of your thesis and the specific subjects that you have studied as a part of your MTech, then I'll be able to identify. Otherwise, even if you mention only the BTech subjects, it will be perfectly fine. कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी बेटा. मेरा email ID आप लोगों के पास already है, so it's okay, right? Okay, the form does not have anything major. I'll share this form also with you. Take a printout and fill it in your handwriting. Legibly readable. बहुत जरूरी है. Okay. Some more messages have been sent. Completed in power systems and power electronics, was in R&D and worked for 1 year in private sector, then a gap of 4 years after BTech. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. न्यूमेरिकल स्किल्स अच्छे होने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, बिकॉज दे आर गोइंग टू. आई एम नॉट आस्किंग यू टू रिवाइज ऑल सब्जेक्ट्स बाबा. आई एम आस्किंग यू टू रिवाइज 4 सब्जेक्ट्स इंपॉर्टेंट. डू दे अलाउ टू चेंज एड्रेस एट मयूर गेस्ट हाउस? आई थिंक दे हैव अ वॉशरूम. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. इतना प्रोविजन है बेटा. किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के इंटरव्यू में कॉलेज के सर्टिफिकेट्स मैटर करते हैं क्या? अंकित, इफ यू आर रेफरिंग टू एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज रिलेटेड सर्टिफिकेट्स, इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए बिल्कुल मैटर नहीं करेंगे. Sitaram Singh, I don't think they are giving accommodation in the guest house, in Bombay at least. No, they are not. Done your summer training in 2022, which is during Corona. It must have been a theoretical training. So be it. Alok Pandey, your statement is meaningless. That's it. So if you are trying to fight with somebody else during this interaction, please don't do that. This is not the forum for it. Okay. I want to have one more discussion so that we can cover any further details which may be left behind or which you might have observed after going through the videos of ONGC. That is what I'm going to be looking at. And before I leave, I just want to share the advertisement once again so that I can cover if there is anything which is missed out by way of the discussion. I'll go to the English part. Not that I don't understand Hindi, but it'll be easier for me. Starting from the beginning, okay, this is the details of the vacancies. 16 vacancies are the backlog vacancies. Okay. Then they have given the details regarding the eligible disciplines for physically challenged candidates. Dates they have mentioned. Eligibility criteria. The branches which are eligible. One candidate has written he has done his BTech in mechanical and automation engineering. My dear friend, are you even eligible? So please confirm that, because in this list it is not included. Okay. This is the upper age limit. Training is for 1 year, and the training is like proper classroom training with a test every weekend. Civil engineering candidates can be placed anywhere. The other disciplines, they can be posted either in LWR or in PHWR, depending on your preference, right? These are the emolument details, benefits, career prospects. Bond amount is 9,18,000 rupees, which is the 12 into 74 plus 30,000 rupees. Selection process, they are calling in the ratio 1:12. That part is very clear. Gate equal weightage for 24, 25, 26. Discipline and okay. Final selection will be done on the basis of performance in personal interview only. No weightage is given to gate score. Please read this point 8.7. There is absolutely no weightage for gate score. Gate score is only giving you an entry ticket for appearing in the interview. Your performance in the interview will decide whether you are making it to the final list or not. Final list means selection and waitlist. If your interview score, suppose you are an unreserved category candidate and you scored 69.5%, then you are not eligible for even being considered for waiting list. You have to get 70% or more for consideration in even waiting list. So please understand that. Abhishek worked in private firm for 10 months but left in 24. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. They will see it entirely on you to prepare as effectively as possible about your job profile. Good boy, please send a mail to me. This is not the forum for answering your question. I guess that's it. This was the point which I wanted to highlight, because there was a question raised by some people about selection criteria. It is 100% interview and interview alone. It is not necessary that you upload the same photograph which you had posted at the time of applying. You can post a more recent passport size photograph और अपने साथ लेके जाना. अटेस्टेशन किसी और से नहीं करवाना है, सेल्फ अटेस्टेशन ही होगा. और self they are asking you to do a signature, and when you are signing on the photograph, partly on the photograph, partly on the form, don't cover the face. Don't cover the face part. Interview date is 15 June. You can reach on 14 June evening. Yes, there is no problem. There is a pickup service. They'll update this information on the website. Reporting time at Narora is 8 a.m. That means you necessarily must reach the previous evening. They are providing guest house accommodation at Narora. हिंदी लैंग्वेज चूज कर सकते हैं इंटरव्यू के लिए, कोई भी दिक्कत नहीं है. इंग्लिश हिंदी मिक्स करके आंसर करिए अंकित, कोई इश्यू नहीं रहेगा बेटा. बोलने में दिक्कत होती है क्या घर पर व्हाइट बोर्ड पर डेरिवेशन बोल बोल के प्रैक्टिस करें? बिल्कुल कर सकते हो बेटा, बिल्कुल कर सकते हो ललित. बोल बोल के प्रैक्टिस करो. व्हाइट बोर्ड पे क्या, इवन पेपर, पेन एंड पेपर पे बोल बोल के करोगे तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. और टेक्स्ट बुक को भी बोल बोल के पढ़ोगे तो सी पिक अप अ बुक ऑन, लेट्स से, थर्मोडायनेमिक्स. इवन इफ यू आर रीडिंग अलाउड द लॉज ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स, बोल बोल के पढ़ रहे हो, दैट मीन्स आप अपने बोलने की कैपेबिलिटी इंप्रूव कर रहे हो. जो टर्म्स हैं उसको एक्सप्रेस करने की रिलक्टेंस को दूर कर रहे हैं. दैट्स इट. ओके Alok, you will not miss out anything based on what I'm going to mail. Just relax. Just relax. Okay. Be ready to expect a message, a mail from me for a discussion related to your interview related doubts, which I might be conducting on Tuesday or Wednesday. But the timing will be 8 p.m. onwards. ESE मेंस 21 जून को है. अंकित, इस इंटरव्यू के लिए रोज का 1 घंटा भी लगा लोगे तो यू कैन मेक इट, बिकॉज योर मेंस की प्रिपरेशन इज हेल्पिंग यू इन अ बिग वे. डोंट वरी. डोंट अंडर एस्टिमेट योर ओन कैपेबिलिटी. बस तुमको थोड़ा बोल बोल के पढ़ना है जो आप अपने मेंस की तैयारी में भी कर रहे हो. दैट्स इट. इट विल हेल्प यू अ लॉट, बिग टाइम, बिलीव मी. ओके. Orophil, you can carry a affidavit with you. That's it. That is the only option you have. Worked as a formwork engineer trainee for 1 year. They may ask you questions related to that. They may ask you questions related to that. Hariharan, I'm taking that your branch is civil engineering. OBC certificate in Hindi is fully acceptable. They have very clearly specified the cutoff date for the OBC and the EWS and other certificates. So comply with that. And NOC will be expected to be carried by you. प्रोजेक्ट या इंटर्नशिप से रिलेटेड रिपोर्ट बिल्कुल नहीं लेके. अंकित, यू आर सिटिंग विद ईयर्स क्लोज्ड. मैंने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एक स्टेटमेंट दिया था. दे आर नॉट आस्किंग यू टू कैरी योर प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट और योर इंटर्नशिप रिपोर्ट. गलती से भी लेके मत चले जाना. गलती से भी मत लेके जाना. इफ यू हैव डन अ बिजनेस ऑपरेशन इंटर्नशिप इंस्टेड ऑफ द अदर इंटर्नशिप, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम. इट वाज विद अप्रूवल ऑफ योर एचओडी. दैट्स इट. आपने अपनी मर्जी से कुछ नहीं किया. आपको आपके एचओडी ने परमिट किया तभी आपने किया. सो कोई इश्यू नहीं है बेटा. डॉक्यूमेंट वेरिफिकेशन एंड इंटरव्यू आर कंडक्टेड ऑन द सेम डे। मैं एक बार देख लेता हूँ पिछले साल का, अगर मेरे पास कोई कॉल लेटर है तो आई विल गो थ्रू दैट ऑल्सो। जस्ट गिव मी अ मिनट, आई विल गो थ्रू दैट ऑल्सो। मेरे को इस साल का अगर किसी ने भेजा है तो मैं उसमें देख लूंगा, अदरवाइज मेरे पास लास्ट ईयर के पड़े हुए हैं, आई विल चेक इट आउट। बट since they are sent by some candidates, I'll not be able to share it with the candidates. Just give me a minute. ऑफर लेटर है बेटा मेरे पास, कॉल लेटर नहीं है बेटा। हाँ एक है, 24 का कॉल लेटर मेरे को दिख गया। The they have listed out the certificates which are required to be carried by you. That is one set of documents. Go through the complete list. अगर कोई भी डॉक्यूमेंट आपके पास नहीं है, then you are not allowed to appear for interview. If you fail to bring any of the above documents as applicable along with this call letter, you will not be allowed to appear for interview. This call letter is also required for gaining entry into the venue for interview. This part is very clear. Then this is about reimbursement. Anu Shakti Nagar. See in the call letter they would have written the latest call letter. If you see Anu Shakti Nagar, Mumbai, there is no transport and lodging arrangements available. For Kaiga, for Narora, and for Kalpakkam, free transport arrangement has been made at specific pickup points for candidates to reach interview venue other than Mumbai. Candidates who wish to avail transport facility are required to report at the pickup point at the scheduled timing a day prior to the interview. अगर आपका इंटरव्यू 4 जून को है तो 3 तारीख को इवनिंग में पिकअप करना है. They will be giving the details, right? They have mentioned a link, so you will be able to get these details. कोई दिक्कत नहीं. That's it. I think this was it. This was it. Nothing very special. I think I'll just take these last set of questions and then we'll close the session. Working in a private sector company, you do not require any NOC of any kind whatsoever. बिल्कुल नहीं. All the documents are there with you in the folder. All the documents are there with you in the folder. That's it. They may not even ask you to open the folder. You can keep it with you. That's it. Interview date is 17th June. You reach a day earlier than that. For mock interviews, you will have to connect with 8800782323. डॉक्यूमेंट्स की कॉपीज बेटा एक बार कॉल लेटर ध्यान से पढ़ लो अंकित, अदरवाइज आई विल रीड इट based on if somebody has sent it to me, then I'll include it in the mail. Subhashish, you took up that job because that was the only option that was available to you. So if they ask you, mention whatever work you were doing. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है उसमें. And don't be shy of saying that. कोई दिक्कत नहीं, किसी तरह की कोई परेशानी नहीं है. CV is not required, beta. CV is not required. This biodata form is required to be filled up. That is what is required. That's it. Okay. I think I have covered practically all the questions for the questions which have been posted on YouTube as well as on Telegram. Prepare well, practice speaking, be thorough with your subject knowledge, and I think you will do very well. My best wishes and look forward to having an interaction with you once again, maybe on Tuesday evening. All right. Divyanshu, interview ke liye you may have to pay extra, but material is the same. Videos will be the same. That's it. Okay. Thank you very much. My best wishes. But do not forget to watch the ONGC video clipping and HPCL clipping for completion of this session. It's only for that. I didn't want to engage you for 3 hours. That is why I have covered the part which is very specific to NPCIL. But I want you to invest that time by going through the ONGC video and the 22 minutes clipping of HPCL. That's it. All right. Best wishes once again and bless you all.